Andrew Glick, a member of the Pagans and one-time close friend of Freddy Augello, has spent hours sitting in a diner in South Jersey recounting his story. The 6-foot, 220-pound outlaw biker was a key government witness in the case, agreeing to secretly record conversations with Augello and others while working with authorities. He stepped out of the biker underworld following his arrest in November 2017 on drug dealing and weapons charges. Looking at 40 years in prison, he said the choice to cooperate was easy. Glick, who had a Pagans motorcycle club tattoo that stretched from his right shoulder to his elbow, was self-deprecating and matter-of-fact as he detailed his life as a biker and his lucrative career as a meth and cocaine distributor. Those were part-time jobs, he explained. He worked 40 hours a week in a real job. He was a chef. Not exactly the stereotypical motorcycle gangbanger, Glick owned rental properties and lived in a sprawling $300,000 house on 7 partially wooded suburban acres with his wife and 2 dogs just outside of Atlantic City, New Jersey. There was a swimming pool in the backyard, along with several outbuildings, including a garage where he worked on motorcycles and a large shed that served as a biker clubhouse. His marriage was breaking up at the time of his arrest, he said, in part because he had brought his girlfriend home to live in the house he shared with his wife. "I think I crossed the line when I did that," he said with a shrug. "You think?" he was asked. "You brought your girlfriend home to live in the same house as your wife?" "It was a big house," he said. Carol Weintraub moved in a world far removed from Andrew Glick's. She resides in a glass-walled condo worth more than $1 million that overlooks a ritzy stretch of South Broad Street known as the Avenue of the Arts in Center City, Philadelphia. Her social life included concerts at the nearby Academy of Music and dinners at the exclusive Union League. The American University and Villanova-educated executive recruiter had been James Kauffman's girlfriend when they attended Atlantic City High School in the 1970s. They had grown up just a mile away from each other in identical one-story beach bungalows. Both were children of hard-working Jewish parents. Both of their fathers were in the bar business. They broke up during her second year in college. 40 years later, after hearing about April Kauffman's murder from a friend who had read about it in a newspaper, Carol sent Jimmy a letter of condolence. A month later, they were dating. A year later, they were married. Carol Weintraub offers a unique look at the murder case. She came into it after the fact, but with prior knowledge of who James Kauffman was, or at least who she thought he was. She has spent the years since her late husband's arrest trying to find the truth. She has many facts, but just as many unanswered questions. Sitting in her apartment, 20 stories above Center City, with Esther, her pet Brussels Griffon, plopped on her lap, Carol Weintraub said she was on a mission. "I want answers," she said. "I need answers. I want to know how he got involved with the people he got involved with. I want to know what happened in his life to make him do the things he did." The thoughts, insights, and speculation offered by Andrew Glick and Carol Weintraub help paint a picture that may come closer to the truth than the facts gathered by investigators, reporters, and internet conspiracy theorists who continue to write about the case. James Kauffman was a master at compartmentalizing his life. Carol Weintraub saw one part of him, Andrew Glick another. Their views, their perspectives, their interactions with the doctor form the backdrop for this story. Today, neither can say with certainty that they knew who Jim Kauffman was. They saw only what he wanted them to see. He spent his life creating personas. He was a gifted physician who cared deeply for his patients. He was an arrogant control freak who insisted on doing things his way. He was a charming socialite. He was a drug dealer. He was a loving husband. He was a power-hungry and violent narcissist who thought he could get away with murder. And even in death, he continued to create his own narrative. His suicide note, 6 pages handwritten on a yellow legal pad and left on his prison bed, provides a fitting ending to the story. But like so much else in this case, it raises more questions than it answers.